Hi and welcome to practice. I'm Jackie from Mala Yoga and this is Olive, and just like she is, we are going to begin practice lying down today. So please take your time to comfortably set up on your mat. If you like to cover yourself with a blanket, you can. If you need to move anything out of the way, just give it a little nudge to the side. Let your spine come and connect to the earth. You can have your arms by your sides, have your legs comfortably apart, and when you're ready to, you can close your eyes. We're going to begin our practice today by softening, letting everything that's happened throughout the day that's been, or the thoughts that have been moving through your mind, start to fade away. And we can do this by starting to bring the inward focus to the very top of your head. And with your awareness at the crown of your head, consciously soften this part of your body. And then let this sensation of softness move down so that you're softening the muscles of your forehead. You're softening your eyes. Soften your cheeks and make sure there's space between the teeth so the jaw is relaxed. Your lips are gently touching. Soften your shoulders and all across the upper chest. Soften your arms so that you can feel all of the points where your arms and your hands make contact with the earth. Soften your rib cage and soften your belly, and pause here, feeling your natural breath, creating gentle movement, navel rising, navel falling. Soften your hips and your thighs. Soften your calves and soften your ankles and your feet. Soften your whole body. And for a moment, feel your physical body completely still. Feel the ground underneath you that supports you. And then begin to deepen your breath into your belly. Take a deep belly breath here. And a deep belly breath out. Begin to wiggle your fingers and your toes. And you can start to blink your eyes open, and you might like to gently stretch your arms and stretch your legs. And then staying lying down, bring your knees into your chest, one hand to each knee. And then on your inhale, lift your forehead up towards your knees and draw your knees towards your forehead. And then exhale and let your body come and rest back down on the mat. Inhale, lifting up, forehead towards knees. And exhale, soften back down. We'll do one more like this and hold for a breath. Inhale here. And exhale as you hold. We'll do another breath in, forehead towards knees. And then exhale, soften back down. And then slowly take your knees wide so that your knees might be as wide as your shoulders, and you can start to rock side to side a little. So that you can bring some movement to the lower back and bring some movement to the hips. Soft, gentle movements. You might even like to do some circles with the knees so that you're rotating your hips, making sure to go in both directions. And then bring your knees back together again and find that stillness again. Have a breath here. And breathe out. And then roll over to your side. And come up to a tabletop. You can have palms or fists on your mat, and if you do find that it's a little uncomfortable with weight on your wrists today, you can always come back and sit to do cat-cows. If you're okay to be in tabletop, let's inhale, let the belly come down, let the heart move forward, and you can lift your gaze to a point that's comfortable, and then exhale, round, chin to chest, and then inhale, belly down, heart forward, gaze forward, and exhale, round. And one more like this. Inhale. And exhale. On an inhale, come to a neutral spine. And we're going to move this into a wide knee child's pose. So you can bring the tops of your feet to the mat. Again, if you have anything in the way, just give it a little movement to the side, and you can take your knees as wide as your mat if you'd like to. If you would like some extra support, remember you can place a bolster or a rolled up blanket between your thighs, and then on your exhale, slowly start to come back to that place of softness and stillness. So you might like to stack your fists here so that you can rest your forehead on your fists or on your hands. If your body feels comfortable to move closer to the ground, you can always bring your forehead to rest on your mat. On your inhale, invite in that sensation of groundedness as you feel all of those points that are touching the earth again. And exhale, soften. Inhale, groundedness. Exhale, softness. One more breath here. With your next inhale, slowly start to rise again. And then bringing your knees together, so you might like to come back to tabletop. And I'm going to turn around so you can see my feet here. Tuck your toes. Depending upon how your feet feel today, you might like to stay here. Tabletop, toes tucked, giving your feet a stretch like this. If you feel okay to bring your buttocks towards your heels, you can walk your hands a little closer to your knees, and maybe you'll stay here. So in this kind of half forward position. If you'd be okay to come all the way up to sit, you can walk your hands up onto your thighs so that now you can roll your shoulders up and back. You've got your shoulders resting above your hips. Find a gaze point out in front. Inhale, stillness, and exhale, softness. So let the shoulders drop down. We'll do 2 more breaths like this. Inhale, softness. Exhale, stillness. One more breath. And then very slowly start to come forward, and you might like to give your little feet a tap on the mat. Tucking your toes again, inhale, and then exhale. Let's come up for downward dog and move your legs here. So we call this one walking the dog. One leg straight and then the other knee bends. And if you find somewhere that you'd like to pause for a little bit longer, you can hold with one leg straight and one knee bent. And then change sides. Eventually slowing down any of this movement to find stillness again. Soften your knees, move your belly back towards your thighs, and let your eyes rest at a point between your big toes. Let's have a breath in here. And breathe out.
very softly start to walk your feet towards your hands, or maybe the hands will come back towards the feet, and then rest here in your forward bends. Let's inhale, halfway lift, so take your hands to your shins as you make an L shape with your body, and then exhale for your forward bend. And then inhale, coming all the way up, and you can lift your arms, and you might like to lift your gaze. And let's settle into stillness in Tadasana, our mountain pose. Breathe in and out. And if you can, either with eyes open or closed, feel into all the points on your feet that connect you to the earth. And it can help to visualize 3 points on the bottom of each feet. One at the base of your big toe, one at the base of your little toe, and one in the middle of your heel. And we are going to shift energy through these 6 points to create a figure of 8 shape. So if you start at your right big toe, shift your weight over to your right little toe, to your right heel, to your left big toe, to your left little toe, to your left heel, right big toe, right little toe, right heel, left big toe, left little toe, left heel. And then let's reverse. So from the right big toe, going to left heel, left little toe, left big toe, right heel, right little toe, right big toe, left heel, left little toe, left big toe, right heel. Until you're starting to slow the movement down to become still and grounded, arms by your sides. So you'll need to step to the top of your mat. Heels about hip distance apart to begin. You can take a little softness to your knees by bending them here, and then step your left foot back. You can have your heels to heels here, or maybe a little bit apart if that feels better for your lower back, and then slowly start to bend your knee so that your right knee moves towards or in the same direction as your right toes. Let's inhale here and lift the arms, and then exhale, soften. You can take your gaze towards your right fingertips as we breathe in for 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, 4. Exhale, 4, and soften. One more breath. With your next inhale, straighten your front leg. You can take your hands to your hips, and then with one tap or lots of taps, come back to mountain pose, arms by your sides. Again, feel into the 6 points that are connecting you to the earth through your feet, and find that steadiness, that groundedness, shifting weight forward and back and side to side until you get to that stable place. And then we'll move into Warrior 2 on the second side. So again, being at the top edge of your mat, a little softness to your knees, step your left foot back. So coming into that same position, is it comfortable to be heel to heel? We do want the right heel to be out a little, the left knee bend so that it moves towards the left toes. You can inhale and lift your arms. Exhale, you can look towards your left fingertips. Breathing in for 4 and out 4. Inhale for 4. And as you exhale for 4, you can soften here. So maybe the hips come down a little more. We'll do one more breath here. On the exhale, think softness. Next inhale, straighten your leg, hands to hips as you pivot on the feet. Remember, one step or lots of little taps. Come back to your mountain pose, arms by your sides. Even out the weight again, so steady, still through the feet. We'll stay standing on the mat. You might like a prop, so I'm going to use a block, but you could use a folded up blanket or something else that's stable. Taking your feet about mat distance apart, so your toes are out and your heels are in. You can place your block or your prop in front so that it's there for you to reach for. Inhale, lift the arms up. And then exhale, slowly come down into your squat. Now, if you feel like this is a little low, you can take your prop any height that you'd like and place that underneath your hips so that you can sit on your block. You can have your arms pressing onto the insides of your knees. Find a gaze point out in front. Breathe in, stillness, and breathe out, softness. Another breath in. Soften on the exhale. If you're okay here, let's do 2 more breaths. You can press your arms into your legs and have your legs pressing back in towards your arms. Keeping the feet grounded, so those 6 points that you felt earlier, keeping them grounded as much as you can. You can always place a blanket underneath your heels. After your 2 breaths here, we'll slowly come out. You can bring your hands down to the floor. If you've had a prop underneath you, let's take that out. Sit on the mat, bring your legs out in front, and you might like to give them a shake. We're going to lie down on the mat again, and you'll need your block or your blanket or something firm for you to rest your hips on. So as you come and lie down on your mat, ground your feet again, knees are bent, lift your hips up, and then taking your prop, any height that you'd like, and place it underneath your buttocks. So you want to have your prop underneath you in a way that your hips are gently elevated, and it helps your lower back to release. And then find that place of softness and stillness. So if it feels good in your body, you could close your eyes here. Letting your body simply be here, grounded, soft and still. And then inhale, counting to 4. And exhale 4. Another breath in. And soften even more on the breath out. 2 more breaths here. And then on your inhale, you can lift your hips up so that you can remove the prop that's helped keep the hips elevated and slowly bring your hips back down to the mat. Adjust where you are on the mat as you need to. If you've got anything there, again, you might need to give it a little move off to the sides. Arms can come and rest on the floor. So cactus arms like I am. You can have your arms straight if you'd prefer. Feet on the ground, a little bit wider than your hips. Inhale here. And then exhale, move your knees to one side. Inhale through your nose, counting 4. And exhale, counting 4. Another breath here. With your inhale, knees come back to the center point. Reposition your body so that you feel all grounded and steady against the floor. On exhale, let your knees fall to the side, remembering to move anything that might be in the way there. Inhale for 4. And exhale for 4. On your inhale, knees will come back to center. Again, reposition your hips, shoulders,
And then bring your knees into your chest. A final squeeze here. And then exhale slowly. Start to straighten your legs and bring your arms by your sides. And when you're ready to close your eyes, become aware of the crown of your head again. Soften the crown, the forehead, the temples. Move this wave of softness down to your cheeks and your jaw, your lips. Soften your shoulders and your arms. Soften your upper chest and your heart center. Feel your breath, your natural breath for a moment at your heart. Soften your belly and feel your natural breath at your belly. Soften your hips and your thighs, your calves, your feet. And feel your whole body breathing. Inhale new energy. And exhale softness. Feel your whole body breathing. Slowly start to move your fingers and your toes. You can gently stretch when you're ready. Knees back into chest again. And roll to your right side. Slowly come up to sit. If you have time to extend your practice, you can download our deep rest ritual for 10 extra minutes of rest and breathing and meditation. If you're ready to move into the rest of your day, bring your palms to touch at your heart center. Gratitude for our practice today. Thank you so much for being here. Namaste.